Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and happy Friday, Merry Christmas Eve to everybody. I hope you're ready for a great holiday, spend time with your family and all that great stuff. Today I want to get into talking about Transformers and how come it seems to be more beneficial. There's more benefits collecting Transformers than any other toy line out there. Master of the Universe is making a resurgence but seems to stop. Marvel Legends is just a tidal wave, a flood of product. Really hard to keep up with what's coming out with that stuff. Although some of the G.I. Joe classified stuff is arriving, most of it is a long, long way away. And although ironic, probably one of the best waves they've had in years is coming out now for Star Wars Black Series, and then we're going to see another drought right after that. When it comes to Transformers, though, there's so many benefits. I'm going to get into talking about all those coming up. So the first benefit I want to talk about is KOs. Now, I want to say that we have gotten a lot of really good KOs over the years, and this debate will continue to go on as long as we collect. But, KOs have been going on since we were kids. And in the 80s, there were knockoffs of 80, Voltron, and all that kind of stuff. So looking at this, we have an RC coming that's a KO. We've gotten multiple versions of the MP44 KO. And we're talking a third or a quarter of the price for MP44, about half the price for RC. Supposed to have an upgraded chest on her, but when you get KOs from Transformers, they're usually better than the original. I think that's a mixed bag with the MP44 because that is a tough mold, but I think the RC is going to be better. You see, I don't bother with KOs in other toy lines other than this one Jedi Luke. I got it for my son because he really, really, really wanted it when the price of the Black Series one was like 70 or 80 bucks, and I got this for 14 bucks shipped. And it broke. It fell apart. I broke it bending the arm. I got a few more techniques now that I probably could have done that without breaking it. But still, I'm hearing from the rest of the community and all my friends that collect other things, the KOs in every other toy line aside from Transformers are complete and total garbage, break very easily, but Transformers KOs are usually an improvement. So the next reason is there's a lot of history to Transformers. Yes, there's a lot of history to all the other ones too, but when it comes to it, there's so many different eras for Transformers to exist. Right now we're enjoying a lot of G1, but G1 is not going to last forever. They were always going to have something G1 on the shelves. There's always going to be something G1 getting made out there, but all the different eras are going to give it representations from Hasbro and third party coming up soon. The next era that's going to be doubled down on really hard is Beast Wars, and they've been working on that lately, doubling down on Beast Wars. Now, that has mixed results, to say the least, but I have to say that it's still kind of fun. I loved the show. I didn't like the G1 toys, or whatever you call 1996 Beast Wars toys. I didn't care for the toys so much. And now I like the modern representations of those toys. Some of the 30th anniversaries were good. Some of the stuff that we're getting right now in the Kingdom and what we're going to be getting in Legacy is really good. I like that, and I look forward to seeing what else they do with the Beast Wars and all the other eras. But think about this. We've got all these different eras represented, and there's something on the shelf all the time for each of these eras, and going into the future, more and more incorporated. I start to wonder how deep they're going to go into like the Cybertron series and RID and all that kind of stuff. It's interesting to think how deep they're going to go, but with Transformers being so big, so massive, so fun, exciting, and so much going on, there is no limit to what they are going to do. So the next reason or benefit to collecting Transformers, obviously masterpiece, obviously third party, obviously a lot of stuff that's going on with that. But when you think about third party in particular, everyone thinks about either masterpiece or Legends. Now, I've recently kind of redone my Legends shelf because of that Minosaur I got. I like it that much. I mean, it's not perfect. There's issues with the Minosaur, but I redid my Legends shelf. I've kind of found myself getting more excited about the Legends line just for getting that one piece. It's weird, it's strange, but I think that's kind of something captivating that happens when you get something that you like that much and you really enjoy it that much. It kind of alters your perspective in a way. But the thing that I think is actually more interesting about third party isn't even the masterpiece and the Legends all of the time. Some of the times, it's the upgrade kits. Yes, I'm constantly talking about third party, I'm talking about Legends, I'm talking about masterpiece and reviewing those. But this is interesting because whatever fails from Hasbro, third party's got your back, the consumer's back, not Hasbro's back, to step in with a third party upgrade kit. And I gotta say, I was actually looking at one of my buddy's collections, and I was looking at all of the Titans, and he does not have an upgrade kit for his Scorponok, and I was like, man, 50 more bucks, your Scorponok would look amazing on the shelf, and I was telling him about that. I think he might buy into it, but again, you know, he's kind of old school. I don't think he really likes upgrade kits, but still, it's an option that's out there, and yeah, they're a little bit expensive, but it's an option, and it's a really solid option. These aren't 3D prints. These are real, full production value items. So the next benefit of collecting Transformers is a constant presence at retail. There's always something Transformers at retail hanging on the shelf, something going on with it. Maybe it's not what you're into. Maybe it's the era that you don't care about. Or maybe it's what you really, really love and you're just swimming in the G1 and loving it. So with that constant presence is something that other lines don't enjoy. G.I. Joe Classified, or any G.I. Joe collection, they're getting shafted. Joe has been shafted for a long time. I would say at least a decade. And now it's coming back and going away and reiterating, and there's a lot of stuff going on with it. Classified is here to stay more or less, but we don't know what's going on with the retro line. We don't know how deep this O-ring thing's going to go. And for all of this stuff that's going on, I've got to say that I feel sorry for Joe collectors. I'm a Joe collector too, but it's one of many that I collect. But the people that only collect Joe, they have been getting shafted so hard for so long, and I feel sorry for them. But that doesn't happen to Transformers collectors. And I would say that the constant presence of Marvel is almost a nuisance. There's just so much, so many waves. I can't keep up with how many waves of Marvel's coming out. And I like to watch the movies. I enjoy them. But I'm like, wow, do I need to buy 35 figures a month? I mean, it's crazy how many figures come out. And truthfully, I have no idea how many total figures they make per year. Maybe it's 100. I don't know. It's crazy how much stuff, how much product's coming out. And yeah, there's a lot of repaints too. So next thing I want to say is accessibility. So when it comes to the G.I. Joe Classified, hard to find. When it comes to like NECA Turtles, hard to get. When it comes to a lot of these other toy lines that are out there, they're hard to find. But like Hasbro makes it pretty accessible to get the stuff. There are some exclusives that are hard to get. Yeah, some Chase exclusives. A handful of them that are tough to get. But the main retail ones are pretty simple to find. Also, when you throw into the whole realm here, Super 7 has a full year of pre-order. So if you want to get their stuff, you can get it. Now, they don't transform. I understand all that. But still, looking at it, Transformers are probably the easiest to get if you really want them. If you're a hardcore collector, most of the stuff for Transformers doesn't sell out in 30 seconds. Star Wars collectors? I gotta tell you, I haven't seen this wave yet. I see a lot of people flaunting it because they got it. If you gotta flaunt it, I guess. But I have not seen this yet. And for me to see it, there's a chance it will skip all my Walmarts and my Target because it's happened multitude of times with Star Wars when it comes to even the vintage collection, which vintage collection is doing better. But the Black Series, it skips entire stores. Never once sees the wave once. And I can see that happening with this wave because it is a good wave. And almost every one of the collectors are going to buy every figure in this wave. So it's going to be hard for you to even know it came because whoever came and bought it will have bought it all. Well, maybe not in my town. I don't think they can afford to buy them all at once. So the next point here, the next benefit to collecting Transformers over some of these other ones is that the HasLab's fund. And I'm going to get out ahead of this. Yes, they extended Unicron. Yes, there was a lot of stuff going on. There was a something block from Zeta going on at the same time. It wasn't 100% HasLab's fault. I am super satisfied with my HasLab Unicron. And I know that the people that got the Victory Saber, they're going to be super satisfied with that. I passed on Victory Saber. It's not for me, but not everything HasLab is for me. And I didn't really back this, get behind it, and it's still funded very well. So that's something that's really important this day and age because I'm actually going to make a video on the first explaining one of the factors why many more HasLabs will fail in the future. But I gotta tell you, the Rancor itself could have funded if they would have done a lot of things different and waited and extended. Maybe if they extended it or they did something. There's so many things. We debate this over and over, up and down, left, right, inside out. But the Star Wars had the first real failure. I mean, Cookie Monster, nobody ever thought that would pass anyway, so that doesn't really count. But this was a big failure. And it shouldn't have been. So the next benefit is there's a variety of stuff out there. Product out there for everybody. It's like, if you want to collect some 4-inch, 3.75 inch, you want them to look like your old Star Wars figures, you can get them from Reaction. Yeah, they're too expensive for what they are. They should be $10 figures. $10 figures. But I find them anywhere from $12 to $15, and I don't buy them for the 18 plus tax plus shipping. I don't spend all that kind of money on them, but this is the new wave that's coming. We're going to talk about it in the news, but it's pretty exciting still. Even if you don't care about this, it's interesting to see this stuff pop up. I never really thought Studio Series would have gone the route they did to go Studio 86, but I think a lot of people are in love with this line. It's really good. And then in the Earthrise and all this stuff, Hasbro's doing some really good work. You know, there's variety for everybody. There's the lower price point at Mainline. There is the Legend stuff that is, it's pretty expensive for small figures. You got Super 7 doing a couple of different scales. You've got 3-0 in there, throw it into the mix. Then you've got some other stuff going on. So many things. Of course, Masterpiece and all of that going on. Variety, something for everybody, something for everybody's budget. The next point I want to talk about is new media. So Hasbro is so confident in Transformers that they can put out a new movie. Now, of course, there's the movie studio behind it and all that kind of stuff. But putting out a new movie for Transformers it's always a risk to make a giant, expensive, blockbuster production. And they're doing it with the Rise of the Beast. Now, this is a picture from the old Bumblebee, the end of the Bumblebee scene. But the Bumblebee movie line going the direction they're going, and they're doing a whole lot of stuff with it. But they even don't need new media. They are still making new media, but they'll sell stuff based on the old media anyway. But they're doing new media. Why do I bring this point up? Because the MCU is just a blitz of new movies and TV shows and all this stuff going on right now. It's overwhelming. And I start to wonder, if you completely stopped making all new movies for 5 years, no new TV shows, no new movies, would Marvel Legends still have the presence at retail it does? I doubt it will. I think it would almost go away if they didn't have this massive blitz of entertainment. But yet, we get a new movie, a couple of small cartoon series for Transformers, and it's still going strong. Now, sadly, the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes movie was a bit of a flop in theaters, according to most people and numbers and all that good stuff. But what's the future of G.I. Joe going to be with media, and is that line heavily dependent on it? I don't think it's as heavily dependent, but Hasbro seems to think so. We're going to see what goes on with G.I. Joe going forward in the next few years. But in 2025, we're still going to see Transformers on the shelf. And my last point of a benefit for collecting Transformers is Transformers just straight up fun. Whether you buy the Transformers to transform them, flip them back and forth, whether you want to display them on the shelf, whether they are non-transformable Transformers or whatever part of the franchise you enjoy, whatever aspect, whatever era, whatever shows you enjoy, it's still just fun. It's always something to go back to, and it's fun. It's something you can kind of escape to and enjoy. A lot of the other ones, even like the MCU, has a lot of real-world elements to it. Star Wars itself, yeah, it's hit and miss on the new media that's coming out and the products that they make. But always with Transformers, whatever's new is coming out, there's some fun aspect to it. And I gotta say, this hobby is for fun. If you're not having fun in your hobby, then maybe it's going to take away from that pleasure. Well, it's definitely going to take away from the pleasure. So anyway, I'm curious what you think about this topic. Is Transformers the most fun, exciting, enjoyable toy line out there today? If you collect Transformers and you collect other things, are there other things that bring you more joy? What do you think about these points that I brought up? Like and subscribe. Enjoy your Christmas season. Pet Dream Hanger out.
The golden age of Cybertron has come again, Cerebros.